All right, so we're going to go through conscious habit observation, which is in the free practices within the Embodied Radiance community. So each practice that you do, and again, there's 8 of them, and they are available to everybody in the free community. They are little tidbits of the things that I help women discover, but these you can just do on your own. I definitely recommend when you do them, absolutely allow yourself to be fully present. Don't try to say, oh, I just don't do that, and oh, this is just the way I am. That is the first rule of going, you are only scared to see yourself. If you use the term, this is just how I am, then that is exactly who you're choosing to be. And if you have the choice to be that version, you can choose to be any other version that actually resonates with you. So being vulnerable in this experience, being vulnerable in these practices is really important. Because the only person, that you could potentially let down is yourself. So again, there's no judgment, there's no comparison. We want to come into these practices with an open mind, with the knowing that this can serve to help us see ourselves better as we move through existence, so that we can show up and make an intentional choice or an intentional change, because we finally witnessed something that we go, wow, that has absolutely been a limitation, but I've refused to see it. And then we get to know better and we do better. So conscious habit observation. So basically you are going to, after witnessing yourself through the embodied awareness practice, being able to say, wow, I noticed last week, or I noticed that I have a tendency to do or say, right? So habit observation isn't just an action. Habit observation can be the thought process that we have. Like, so if you have this running thought that, whatever it might be, I'm not worthy enough. Why do I have financial issues? Why am I always here in this same spot? Why can't I find a man that, is actually a good man? Why can't I? All the why questions, right, are a habit. We are habitually asking, why is something not happening for me? An action, right? So if our habit is, well, instead of getting a good night's sleep, I'm gonna sit up till 3 o'clock in the morning and watch TV, even though nothing serves my cells, my hormones, any of those things. If it's just like, maybe you have an interesting little thing that you do that you've gone, why do I do this? It's just second nature, and I don't know how to break this habit, and I know it's not serving me, and I know that it's not guiding me to become the best version of myself. And then of course the language. So what we say, not only out loud in the universe, but that internal dialogue. It is very important to be aware of the language habits, the I can't, I don't, why would I be able to do this? I'm not, or, anything that leads us to a little bit more in the negative, energetic versus the empowering. So, it's like, oh, I always show up for myself. I love myself. I am love. So we do want to kind of be aware of the language, the thoughts, the actions. So within that observation, if we already know that we have a little something that we know we could change or that we would like to improve on, because this isn't about, oh, I woke up and I'm a different person. We're not trying to become a different person. We're trying to first discover ourselves right where we are. Then we get to say, okay, because I now know this about myself, because I've witnessed myself in action, in language, in thought. How do I, kind of do a hard stop? It's just a hard stop, and then say, I'm going to replace this thought when it happens with this. I'm going to catch myself, even though it might come out of your mouth, and you go, oh, I don't want to say that anymore. Or negative, or actions that don't necessarily serve us. And yeah, so the conscious habit observation is just us observing, and looking at how we move through life. And then being able to say, what, this week I'm going to take this one little tidbit, this one little thing, and I'm going to start to become more aware of when I say it or think it or do it, and I'm going to then shift into a little bit more positive. Now, of course, sometimes if we've lived in this pattern for so long, it's going to be hard to see. So that's where, I show up for people, and after like conversation and getting to know you, I can start to see patterns, and of course recognize language, and based on whether they are just a thought that we continuously have about ourselves through the language that we use, or just recognizing when I learn your daily patterns that, hey, that's probably not serving you, and that's a limitation. But with ourself, because sometimes we're so close to it, it's harder for us to truly go, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need to shift. So we want to take the time. It's not something that we do overnight. It is something that we start to practice. So all of these are practices, because it takes time for us to not only allow ourselves to see, but then to allow ourselves to admit, and then to make an intentional choice on whether or not do I like to continue to do this, and has it served me, or do I want to choose to start shifting it into something that does serve me better. And of course, at the end of each of these practices, as you do them in this free community, I would love to hear your feedback. I think that the best way to shape a community is to hear the voices in the community, and everybody participates in the direction in growing this. So I am very excited for you, and of course, don't hesitate to reach out if you need any assistance within the free community. And yes, and I will see you on the next practice.